What's up, YouTube? A lot of people have been asking about my snorkel kit, and I figured I'd just do a video. So I got my kit from snorkeluratv.com. I got the kit that doesn't go through this rack because I wanted to keep it waterproof. It just comes right through the fenders on both sides. Alright, so there's 4 total things you can see, obviously. These 2 are the engine intakes on this right fender. These 2 are for the CVT. This one's the out, and this one's the in. And I'll show you how tubes go through everything in a second. I'll take the seat off. Alright, so this is under my seat. Right here is the airbox. This is where the stock intake came in from the engine. It came and sat right up under here. It's a pretty good spot, but I just wanted it higher. As you can see, tubes come in from the back and the right side. Take the airbox off to see when they go in. This is the inside of my airbox. See, I got 2 holes that were very painful to drill in. All you have to do is just, actually no, these 2. That's all it holds it in. I did upgrade my air filter. Kind of figured because these risers only have a small screen right here. You can't really see how far it goes in, but it's not much. So I figured I'd do that. It does get kind of dusty, especially if you're riding on a very dry day. But as you can see, this tube right here is kind of in a weird spot, kind of 90s this way, goes around the back, and then flows under the 4 other tubes. I'll show you. I'll pop this plastic off in a second. I'll show you that. But all the tubes run this way, and they branch off into that fender, and then they cross under here and come up to here. One thing I noticed about this kit is it's kind of ghetto how they patch up this hole, but it does a job. I haven't had any problems with water getting in the air filter or the airbox, so it's a pretty good kit. There's only one big thing I would suggest, and I'll get to that in a second. So my biggest suggestion if you're thinking about snorkeling your Sportsman 570 is to get 2 tubes of silicone, because I promise you they did not seal up the CVT housing. I promise you they did not. There's a little gasket on the back. You can probably feel it if you get your fingers deep enough. But this whole thing moves. On any other quad, you do that too. It's not going to move. It's bolted. But anyway, take the front cover off. Take the primary. Take the secondary off. Take your belt off. Take the back of the housing off. Make sure everything is clean. Make sure you seal it up with silicone. Clear silicone that's adhesive. And pretty much just make sure, and the O-ring that's in here, just take it right out. It's worthless. It doesn't do anything. So after you do that, then I suggest you do the snorkel kit. The snorkels aren't going to do anything if water's just leaking in from the back. My belt was slipping just from washing my quad. So, alright, but anyway, this is the in. Comes right over here. It's the shortest tube. It comes out right here. This riser. And then the out is right here. It's kind of at a funky angle. I wish they put a 90 on that, but goes through. I believe it's this tube. Yep. This tube right here, it comes right up. It's this highest one. And then you can see the two engine intakes. There's one right there, and then there's one that feeds in just behind here. You can't see it. I can barely even see it. And it feeds through, goes right across. The hose is really heavy duty, stands up to high temperatures. I've never had any problems with it. Sits right next to the exhaust, right here. There's no holes, it doesn't even get hot. So the main reason I got the Snorkel Kit, like I said, is because it would keep this box free of holes. But this box is not very waterproof. It's more water resistant. If anything goes underwater, like if you're front rack deep, it's gonna fill up with water. As you can see, mine has multiple times, but there's 4 drains in there. I usually don't put anything in here anyway. I have the rear box. So everyone usually just throws everything in there, including me. The front rack doesn't sit all the way, but that's my fault. Kind of hits the snorkels. But it's my own fault how I installed it. I didn't really put enough angle on this because I have hand guards. I'm probably going to take those off soon because it tends to get caught. Kind of hooks around this snorkel a lot. Sometimes even rough riding, the snorkels will move in and it'll hit the head when I'm steering, just making a left turn. So I just have to move them back, but they're on there pretty well. It's threaded on both ends, so it basically just clamps onto the plastics on both sides. And everyone's probably wondering why I have one white elbow. And that's because I got a little glue happy when I first got the kit and tried putting everything together, and it didn't end up working. It's ended up at a 90 that way. So I had to heat that up, cut it off, and then I just went to Home Depot and I got a fitting for, I think it was 90 something cents. So I could have ordered it off the site. It's Spears, it says it right there. But I just decided to get the cheap one at Home Depot. I'll probably paint over it eventually, but just haven't got to it. Show you how it runs. Gotta hit the brake. Alright, so that's it. Bought the kit off snorkeluratv.com. I believe the kit was about $140. It's not expensive at all. Very worth it. It's just typical Schedule 40 PVC piping, some tubes, some hose clamps. The only thing that's really custom are this fitting and then this fitting for the CVT. Other than that, everything else is pretty standard. You can just buy it at Home Depot, but I just figured I'd buy the whole kit. Know I have everything, get a solid sheet of instructions, and just go for it. The next thing I am going to do, though, is my radiator does get a lot of dirt. You obviously can't see inside, but it's caked right now. Next thing up is radiator relocation kit. It's going right on my rack. So I'll do a video for that when I get it and I get it installed.